obviously, guys, let's just get right into this. This is huge news. Came out yesterday. Tyreek Hill,
Yep.
a Miami Dolphin,
Fins up.
came out of nowhere, and of course, coincidentally, we have a residential Dolphin fan. DeAndre, why don't you break down what was given up? What did the Dolphins give up to get Tyreek Hill?
Oh, man. What did we give up? We gave up first-round pick this year, second-round pick this year, pretty sure fourth-round pick this year as well. Let me make sure. I don't want to be wrong.
Got to fact check it. Yes, sir. I dig that.
Yeah, we gave up 2022 first, a 2022 second, 2022 fourth, and then a fourth-round pick next year and a sixth-round pick next year as well.
And, of course, you pay Tyreek Hill 4 years, 120
mil. Yep.
What, 73.6, I want to say, is fully guaranteed, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so once again, another AFC team gets super stacked. Let's talk about from the Dolphins' perspective first, guys. Obviously, they brought in some running backs, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert in the offseason. We know what Jalen Waddle can do in this offense. You add Mike McDaniel. Then, of course, they signed Teron Armstead as well to a big $84.5 million contract as well.
Yeah, which I actually expected him to get a lot more on the market. So I think that was a good deal.
Yeah, good for T-Stead.
Yeah.
Take care of him, please. That's my boy.
I will. I got you. I'm going to say this, man. I owe Chris Greer an apology because a week ago, I was getting ready to cuss this motherfucker out. Like, I was done, bro. I was like, why are all the big names leaving the market? We ain't signing no Trent Brown. We ain't signing I forgot who the other left tackle was that got picked up. Oh, Lau. We didn't pick up Lau Collins. Like, what the hell are we doing, man? We need to pick up offensive linemen. I was over here like the whole point of missing out on Deshaun Watson was because we had to build up the whole roster with all these other superstar players in free agency. And then people started disappearing off the board, and I was like, okay, yeah, fire Chris Greer. He got to go. But he just bought himself another 3 years in Miami based on what he did this week because this is amazing. This is an amazing haul for us. Going based off last week's signings, I thought they were good signings, underrated. They were very good low-key impact players that fit Mike McDaniel's scheme moving forward. Cedric Wilson was a guy in Dallas that was buried on the depth chart, but when he did play, he had a lot of moments. He's a great route runner, and he's good at creating separation. Chase Edmonds brings a lot of burst at that running back position. So does Raheem Mostert as well. So I was impressed with what we were able to bring in, but we still needed that big fish. We needed that big acquisition to really, say that, oh, okay, Miami Dolphins made a statement this offseason. And we didn't make just one. We made two. And Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I don't think no one's ever seen or is going to see a faster receiving duo than those two on the field. So I'm excited.
Yeah, has it been a crazier offseason? Has there been anything like this that we've seen?
Like the NBA now, I see. It's like entertaining. Guys forcing their way out, telling them they want to go.
Russell Wilson, Devontae Adams, Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan,
Tyreek Hill. A lot of guys moving.
It's just a bunch of superstars moving around.
It's probably the most you've ever seen, honestly.
And they're all moving to the AFC.
Which is crazy, yeah.
The NFC is relatively weak compared to the AFC, but
Tom Brady knew what he was doing.
He came back at the right time. And for the Chiefs, last week we talked about how this, with the move of Devontae Adams, that's a pretty competitive division now between those four teams. And we saw last year at some points during these games, all three other teams, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, gave the Chiefs fits.
Yeah.
So now take out Tyreek Hill, the Chiefs did get a haul for Tyreek Hill, make no mistake, and they got tons of cap relief. Clearing Tyreek Hill's contract, but how do you feel about the Chiefs right now? Are we still high on the Chiefs at this moment, or how are we feeling about them?
I think we have to be. They're still scary. I ain't looking at them and saying they're done. Like the haul they got, they still have Andy Reid. I look at it like this. Tyreek Hill, they found him late in the rounds. It ain't like he was a first round draft pick. They found him late. They have a great scouting department. They do a great job with finding guys later on, finding the gyms. And Andy Reid's the guy, man. I think wherever you give him any kind of talent, he's got to find a way to make it work. You know what I mean? So I look at it, the Chiefs and all the picks and stuff they got, cap space, they're going to be able to make some moves, man. That defense needs a lot of work. They're going to be able to do that. They can still get another receiver because it's a deep draft, a lot of positions. And you still have the best quarterback in the division. Of course, you have the best coach in the division. Probably the best quarterback in football. Probably the best duo in football right now. So they're definitely going to be scared. I don't think nobody should be sleeping on them saying like they're done. I think they're still going to be around. I think this is more of a retool than a rebuild. It's a retool. You know what I mean? It happened. So I think they're going to still be dangerous. We saw the move that they made today. Pick up your boy Marquez. So I think they'll be solid still. I don't think they're nobody to sleep on.
Yeah, I agree. I think Andy Reid, just giving him the benefit of the doubt, he's still the best coach in that division. So that team is still going to be competitive. And like Javonte mentioned, like they have a lot of assets. And their scouting department is really good. I put it up there with a lot of teams as far as one of the best scouting departments in the league, along with Pittsburgh and I'm trying to think, but just in that general area.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they should kick the tires on a Brandon Cooks trade, because he's a guy in Houston we know what Houston's team is like, but you can probably get something from Brandon Cooks, and I think he kind of gives you that same arsenal that Tyreek Hill brings, with that downfield deep threat.
I think you can get for cheaper, low key, because you picked up Marquez today. I think you can get for cheaper. You go get a guy like Will Fuller.
Yeah,
sure. Will Fuller might not play 17 games, but what his skill set is, because you're not gonna be able to replace Tyreek Hill. He's top 5 receiver in the league, we think. So you can't replace that with one guy. But if you get a multitude of guys that can do it, I think Brandon Cooks is a great pickup. I just wonder how much is. First off, I wonder if Houston's willing to give up Brandon Cooks.
Well,
he seems like a great locker room guy.
I'm pretty sure Houston. I'm pretty sure all it would take is like one first-round pick.
And I don't know if I want to move a first round, especially on this draft. It's a deep draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would you rather have a rookie receiver or a proven receiver?
Depends. These rookies are studs and they fast.
Yeah.
We saw this as a fast receiving class. They're studs. Brandon Cooks also, what's the contract looking like?
Hey, Jalen Rager was a fast receiver too.
No. The numbers told you Justin Jefferson was better. The Eagles, I don't know what they want. Justin Jefferson was the better. The eye test told you Justin Jefferson was a better receiver.
We don't know what test made the Eagles pick Jalen Rager.
I don't know. That's when they started talking about.
That was the analytics.
Analytics over the eye test. The eye test never lies. Or sometimes it does lie, but over analytics any day. But still, I think Brandon Cooks is a great player, but what's the contract looking like? Do I got to pay Brandon Cooks after this season?
I think
Probably.
That's what I'm saying. If I got to pay Brandon Cooks, and what's the point? I might get a young rookie receiver that's on contract for 4 years.
Hold that thought. Let me pull up his contract.
But I like Brandon Cooks as a receiver, though. I'm not knocking Brandon Cooks. But I just don't know what the move I wanted. Because this move was pretty much to say, hey, we got other needs. We got things we got to take care of. We need to save this. We need to get some cap space.
Actually, yeah, he's on contract for this season, and then he's a free agent.
That's what I'm saying. So I basically get a rental.
Yeah.
For 1 year, and then I have to pay.
Yeah, but in a stacked AFC, that doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think with the Chiefs, obviously, I think this speaks to how much faith they're putting in Reid and Mahomes to my voice cracked, Jesus, to kind of carry this team not only in this division but in this conference. You look across the conference. I mean, I think Tyreek to Miami along with Turner Armstead, I think that makes Miami a legit competitor. Mm-hmm. Matt Ryan going into the Colts, that makes the Colts a serious Super Bowl contender. I mean, Watson in Cleveland, say what you want about Baker, Deshaun is certainly an upgrade over Baker. Mm-hmm. So I think it just speaks to, I think the Chiefs, I think they're confident where Mahomes can elevate any of these wide receivers play, whether it's Hardman, whether it's Josh Gordon, maybe Valdez-Scantling they brought in from Green Bay. Juju they brought in a couple days ago.
You got the running game still.
So that's also another thing. I wonder how much more they emphasize on the running game this year. Like, how much more important is it to get another guy to pair along with Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Because you invested so much in that offensive line last year,
right? I think and it helps take pressure off Pat Mahomes.
The thing you mentioned about the AFC West getting tougher, or the AFC in general is getting tougher. The one thing that stood out to me after you named all the teams and stuff like that was like the Dolphins are still the biggest question mark. Like, I know you said like the Indianapolis believable. We understand why. We understand why Russell Wilson, the Broncos. We understand a lot of teams you said. The Dolphins, the ones were like,
but they got better.
And they
got better, but also they only got better if Tua gets better.
That's fair. That's fair. I respect that.
If Tua's, I mean, let's not look at it. I love Tyreek Hill.
It's on Tua.
That too, and let's play a little devil advocate. When they got Mike Williams a couple of years back, Mike Williams was a stud with Ben Roethlisberger.
You mean Mike Wallace?
Mike Wallace, my bad. Yeah. Mike Wallace. When they got Mike Wallace a couple of years back, thank you for that. When they got Mike Wallace a couple of years back, they thought they were getting a stud, speed, could do everything, go downfield. I like Tyreek Hill, but I wonder how much of Tyreek Hill looks better when you have a guy like Pat Mahomes who's a gunslinger and is going to give him all kind of opportunities. And that's another thing I want. That's like the thing I wonder about. Like, can Tyreek Hill be successful with a less talented quarterback?
Well, I'll say this.
And is he willing to? How much frustration will play in when Tua is not willing to take those deep balls? Like we all joke about Pat Mahomes. Like, hey, Tyreek down there somewhere, just throw it. I don't think Tua's gonna make throws like that. I think Tua's gonna play it safer.
Well, here's my thing with Tyreek Hill. I don't think he'll ever have. I think him in Kansas City was Pete Tyreek Hill because I don't think he'll ever have a quarterback like Pat Mahomes throwing it to him.
Unless you're Josh Allen.
You can't get better
unless
than
Josh
that.
Allen, unless you're playing in Buffalo. That's the closest thing.
Right.
Besides that, you won't ever have a guy with an arm like Patrick Mahomes. And I think with Miami's offense, I do believe that Tyreek Hill is going to get the ball in the backfield a lot, similar to what Mike McDaniel wants to use with what he used with Deebo Samuel back in San Fran. Expect a lot of run after catch opportunities for Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Work the short and intermediate game.
Get him in space.
Exactly. And I think Tua can convert on those deep shots. He just didn't have a lot of. You didn't really get a chance to see a lot of it last year because he didn't have a lot of time to throw those deep shots. When you got guys like Jesse Davis blocking for you, thank the Lord we cut him.
I definitely think the Dolphins did get better, though. I agree. I'm not trying to show them. Dolphins did get better. And shout out to the Dolphins management for making the move. I know Gianni was a happy man.
I think with the Miami, I think Chris Greer, with all the criticism last year too, with all the news of Deshaun Watson, the trade,
this
midway point,
with Brian Flores,
reportedly, trashing Tua, and it sounds like Brian Flores was the guy behind the scenes pushing for Deshaun Watson. I think Chris Greer wanted to prove that he was right picking Tua.
Right.
And I think the best way possible is to get him, two good running backs, which they didn't have last year. Mm-hmm. You signed one of the premier left tackles in football, Teron Armstead. Mm-hmm. And then you come out of nowhere, come out of left field, and you trade for arguably... Oh, no, he's a top 5 receiver in the game.
Receivers,
yeah. So I think it's all on Chris Greer wanting to put all of his eggs in the Tua basket.
Let me ask you this. Tell me if I'm overreaching, maybe. Now you give me this too because you're a Dolphin fan. It's your guy. To me, I feel the Dolphins don't make the playoffs unless Tua takes the next step like a Justin Herbert step or Joe Burrow step. Not Super Bowl, but he shows that kind of improvement like those guys did. I just don't think they get to the playoffs because, like we mentioned, the AFC is just so tough. I think you might get 3 from the West. The North might have 2. And then you still got the Colts and the Titans possibly going to be fine there. The Jaguars, I think, going to be more competitive. Not saying they're better than the Dolphins,
That's
but
true.
the AFC just deeper. And Buffalo's definitely going to be around. And New England, Bill Belichick's going to be around.
Right.
Well, I'll say this. Before we made the Tyreek Hill trade, I thought, you know what, Miami's roster with Teron Armstead, we have a shot at the wild card this year. Mm-hmm. With Tyreek Hill now, I do believe that we actually do have a shot at the division title. Does
it depend on Tua taking the next step like a Justin Herbert? Not to cut you off.
I would say, I was agreeing. I would think if the Dolphins do take that next step and becoming a division champion and making a serious, being a serious threat in the playoffs, it comes down to can Tua take the next step.
Right.
And Miami has done everything on their part to surround him with weapons.
Big fact.
Exactly.
So it's going to be on can Tua take the next step.
That's how I look at it. I look at it like that's the only way they're making the playoffs. If Tua becomes a little bit better,
they'd be a walkout team.
I don't see them making the playoffs. But I think he has to make a major leap.
Well, I don't know.
Pro Bowl type quarterback.
Hey, you look at that defense that they have. It could be just enough.
In the average year, yes. But with how the AFC is now, what's
stacked?
You look at the AFC. There's at least 2 legit teams. I mean, at the minimum, there's 2 legit in every division.
But what's good about it though is we have the AFC West. I'm saying the AFC West though. They're going to beat each other up.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron. They're going to beat each other up. So we have to capitalize on that opportunity.
They almost got 3. We almost got 3 last year.
Correct.
They're probably going to get 3 this year.
At least.
Yes. Tennessee's going to have the Colts and the Titans probably getting in. Even though they beat each other up, Titans and Colts probably both getting in.
Could be.
Bengals.
In the North, we got the Cincinnati, we got Cleveland, we got Baltimore, we got Pittsburgh.
I kind of look at Baltimore as the out team out in all of this, to be honest.
So I look at Pittsburgh more as the out team out.
I didn't even count Pittsburgh.
And I'll say this. Let's say Tua doesn't perform this year.
And also, go ahead. We'll go with after that. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I was going to say.
Even about Baltimore.
Yeah, even if Tua doesn't perform this year.
Right.
We still got 2 first-round draft picks. We could trade up, draft a quarterback.
Shout out to Laramie Tunsil.
Yes, shout out to Laramie Tunsil. Or, because depending on how this whole situation plays out, because Lamar Jackson, he still wants that contract from Baltimore.
Right.
And right now, negotiations are kind of hard, especially when Lamar Jackson is basically his own agent.
Right.
He's from South Florida. Stephen Ross has publicly stated that he liked Lamar Jackson coming out of Louisville. So if Lamar is available next offseason and Tua doesn't do enough this season for Miami, I can see them pulling the trigger and getting a guy like Lamar Jackson to come in.
Change that 1 to an 8 on that jersey, right?
Yes.
See, it's